Welcome to ECU Flash Training Part 11. In this video, we're going to take a look at working with our idle control. We're going to find that we have several different tables that are going to be associated with our idle control in our Evo 8 and Evo 9 applications. We're going to have our virtual programming side of things, where we're going to be programming our spark timing and our actual idle control stepper motor to achieve a certain amount of airflow and spark timing to hit the desired RPM we'd like for our idle. We're also going to have some mechanical aspects, such as our bis screw and our throttle body. That's going to be the mechanical adjustment to airflow entering our engine. We have to make sure they're programmed in unison so that everything is going to work properly. So I'm going to be walking you through all the different idle control tables, the tables that make the most difference for editing and updating, and some things you might want to keep track of while you're doing your tuning. We're also going to take a look in your Evo scan, adding some custom channels to log so we know exactly what's going on with our idle control and we can move back into our tables and make the appropriate changes. We're going to have a lot to learn, so let's jump into this video so we can check it out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be talking about and working with our idle control in our Evo 8 and Evo 9 ECUs, and we're going to be looking at how to program it properly in our ECU Flash software. So a couple things about our idle control, what we're talking about in Evo 8 or Evo 9. We're going to have both a virtual side that we can program and a mechanical side that we can actually make adjustments to physically in the engine bay. And we have to make sure they're synced up. We have to make sure everything's going to be working in unison together, or we're going to have undesirable results with our idle control. Now, the idle control can affect everything from our cranking and our starting to the post-start and our normal actual idle. So we need to make sure things are dialed in properly and we know how the tables work together and which tables we actually need to edit in order to achieve the results that we'd like with our idle control. So let's just talk about how this is going to be controlled virtually, and then we'll talk about the mechanical aspect of the idle control and making sure those are synced. And then we're going to go through our tables in the idle control and making sure that we're going to understand what of these tables are going to be edited and what can be left alone, and also going into our Evo scan to insert some extra XML code in the background so that we can log specific channels related to our idle control so we have an idea of what is going on. Otherwise, we're kind of doing this blindly and we really can't dial in our idle control and making sure that it's all synced up and it's going to be the way Mitsubishi has designed, intended the system to work. So first and foremost, if we're talking about the virtual side of programming, we are going to have our idle control motor. That's going to be a physical idle control motor that's mounted on the throttle body. And we're going to be controlling that virtually through the programming here in our actual idle control tables. What we're going to find is it's a stepper motor, and the stepper motor has 0 to approximately 120 steps. 0 steps is going to be the idle stepper motor completely closed. 120 steps would be the idle stepper motor all the way open. You can think of the idle stepper motor as a controlled vacuum leak. So at 0 steps, it would be like you having a hole drilled in the intake manifold and you'd put your finger over the hole. At 120 steps, it would be like you taking your finger all the way off the hole and having a massive vacuum leak. And if you have your finger, let's say, half on the hole and half off, you're letting some amount of airflow in. That would be the same idea as having your idle stepper motor at 60 steps, or having half the flow that's going to be bypassing the throttle plate and allowing it to come into the engine. So we're essentially going to be programming a virtual vacuum leak through the ECU so we can get the desired results that we like. So again, this is going to be affecting starting, post-start, and our normal idle control and idle routine. So it's very important that we understand which of these tables here that we actually need to work with and start to program. Now, the other aspect of the virtual side of control is going to be our spark timing. Now, if we jump down in here into our spark tables, we're going to have our normal high and low octane table here. If we pop into our spark table, we're going to find here from 500 to about 1,000 here in this range, in the range of between 10 to 100 here in our KPA and our load. That's going to correspond to where we'd expect to have our idle at. So the spark timing values that are in here, these are going to be used to source for our spark timing at idle. And we're going to be making adjustments on top of this, but this is going to be the core or the base values that it starts from. So if we start to increase our values here at idle, we're going to find that it's going to be making more torque at idle, and therefore the idle speed will increase. If we start to decrease the values that we have found here in this base amounts, that'll start to lose torque and decrease the idle speed. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.